What's up, everybody? Eric with driverlineup.com, world's luckiest steering wheel holder, and I am absolutely exhausted, and I'm about to go pass the F out. I'm about to sleep so good, man. It is 9 a.m. on Sunday. I started driving at like 6:30, 7 p.m. last night. And man, last night was a grind. Holy shit, last night was a grind. You know, you have those drives, like the 2 nights before, I had drives that were so pleasant that I didn't even need really music or a podcast or anything like that. Like I just enjoyed the ride, you know, like just with my thoughts, and like it was just a good ride. Moon was out, but last night, man, it was just a grind all night long. So I did 600 miles last night, but I did it through Ohio, Pennsylvania, across I-80, New York, Connecticut. I went up through Scranton. And that drive is not super easy at nighttime anyway. It's just, you know, there's construction and there's lots of windy mountains. Not huge mountains, but just enough to make you really have to pay attention, you know what I'm saying? So, man, it was just a grind all night long. And I've done that drive many times, but last night in particular, it was just a grind. So I just went and took a shower. We are just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. Jenna went in for a shower right now. So as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm crawling up there and going to sleep. We're parked for the day. We've been running really hard for our truck, really hard, and really for any team. I mean, just turning around, you know. Now we've only been doing 900 or so miles a day, but it's a different load every day. So we're doing a shipper and receiver every day too. So, you know, it takes a lot of work to do that. And we've been doing it back to back, day after day. Now it's paid off really well, but you know, we've just been doing it back to back every day. And we're exhausted, and the loads that it seems like are available today are good loads, but they require us to just continue doing it. And we got it. I gotta get some rest, man. Like, you know, I just want to sleep for like 10 hours, nice and clean. Jenna stocked our fridge yesterday with Panera bread, so she's got bread bowls, soup, some other odds and ends from Panera bread. So we have like really delicious food on board, which we have all of our sandwich and wrap stuff and our cachavas too. We've been doing really well on that stuff. But you know, we got Panera bread, and we're just gonna kind of chill out, relax today. So that's our situation in Connecticut, which we don't spend a whole lot of time in. So anyway, as you saw in the title, I'm already almost 4 minutes in. I was just giving you guys a vlog update. If you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. We do vlogs or videos almost daily, damn near daily is what I say. And they're all in order of our journey. So usually every day we're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday. So as on my video yesterday, I was talking about how we had this empty trailer situation, but we lucked out, and 2 other prime trucks did not luck out. But fortunately, we were able to get this FedEx load done. And by the way, this FedEx facility just south of Hartford, Connecticut, man, if you prime drivers have been there, you know what I'm talking about. That is the best FedEx facility I've ever been to, hands down. Holy shit, that FedEx facility has got it together, man. It's big, it's just well organized. There were multiple empty trailers. It was just really nice and clean, and man, I was really impressed. I've been to a lot of FedExes. I've been to FedEx in Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, California, multiple FedExes in California, New Jersey, Illinois. I've been to FedEx all over the place, but that FedEx just south of Hartford, Connecticut, 5 stars, unbelievably awesome experience. So, as the title of my video suggests, now that I've given you the vlog update, I had my first ever critical event this morning at 03:30, which was the result of me hard braking because I hit a deer. I've never in my life hit a deer, but I hit a deer this morning. And it was not a pleasant experience. So I can't, it's pitch black. It was on 84, on 84 in New York. I can't remember the name of the little town that it was just outside of, but I-84 in New York, and it was right before I got to this town, just pitch black. No other vehicles in sight on either side of the interstate. And I had come over, I was doing 65, came over this little hill, not a big hill, but just enough to where, in that kind of pitch black, I mean, you can see a vehicle when you come over a hill because it's got like taillights and stuff like that, right? But if there's any other object in the road, and it's not just because of the hill, if there's an object in the road, a lot of times at night, your reaction time is substantially less than during the day. So I came over this little bit of a hill, and as soon as I come over the hill, I see this deer. I'm in the right lane. I see this deer hastily moving his way across towards the divider. It's got like trees and grass and bushes, and it's dividing the two directions of the interstate. He's heading across. He was coming out of the right lane, going into the left lane when I came over the top of the hill. So I got on the brakes. At that point, I'm probably, I don't know, it's hard to even say. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say, gosh, I don't know, 40 yards, 40, 50 yards, and I may be way off on that. It's just hard to say. But, I got on the brakes, and I wasn't on the brakes extremely hard at that, or I was never on the brakes extremely hard. I didn't think I was on the brakes extremely hard. But I got on it, because this deer was right there, going into the left lane and heading towards the median. And as the closer I got to him, and this all happened very quickly too. Like I don't want to make it sound like there's a lot of time that's occurring here. There's not a lot of time that's happening here at all. I came over the top of that hill at 65, and so I got on the brakes, and I'm not sure how much I had slowed down just, at the very beginning of seeing this deer. But he had made his way he or she, whatever, it made its way all the way to the left of the pavement. So about to enter the grass. And of course, in training and everything, you don't leave your lane. Even in the middle of the night when there's no other vehicles, there's no other vehicles, you don't leave your lane, right? To avoid an object, because that can cause other chain reaction type stuff that you don't want to happen, so you don't leave your lane. So I never left the lane. I mean, not even by an inch. There's no swerving or anything. But the closer I got to this deer, and again, this happened very quickly, the closer I got to this deer, and it looked up at me, it started triggering in my head that this bastard was going to turn around and go the other direction. Like, it just started, again, this is a very short split second amount of time, but there was a trigger in my head that something told me that this deer was about to just completely reverse course. And so I started mashing the brake even harder, and then he did it. I'm saying he, but it actually was a doe, I believe. But again, this all just happened so fast. But the deer completely, as soon as it's, it's like you hear that deer in headlights. Well, this deer in headlights, man, it turned around and bolted right in front of the truck. And at that stage, I was really on the brakes. And it wasn't like a dangerous amount of hard braking, but it was hard braking enough to where I was going to slow the truck down as quickly and safely as possible as I could, not to a stop, but to try and minimize any damage to the truck and minimize any damage to the animal. Not that you should really think about the animal's safety. I mean, you're driving a truck and trailer, but I felt like I had reacted quick enough coming over the top of the hill that I had already slowed down enough to where I could really get slowed down by the time that I made contact with the animal. And again, not again, but let me first say, and I'm lacking sleep here, but let me first say, I'm not giving any of this as advice, okay? I'm just telling you guys what I did. I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm not saying it's the wrong way. I'm just saying, like, some of you may have comments. It's easy to armchair quarterback. I wouldn't try to do it to any of you because you just don't know until you're in that situation. In any event, I really got on the brakes. Not what I believe to be in a dangerous manner. I believe that it was and I also know that I only had 25,000 pounds in the trailer, and I also know how that cargo is in the trailer because I secured it and load locked it. So all this is going through my head, right? So I had dropped down, by the time that I made impact with the animal, I had dropped down to, I don't know, if I had to guess, probably 40 miles an hour maybe. If I had to guess, I'm sure safety will know, because I think Monday morning they're going to pull all this up. But I think that I'd probably dropped, if I had to guess, probably had dropped the truck down to 45, maybe 45 miles an hour, 45 or 50. I'm not sure. I mean, I wasn't looking at my speedometer at that point in time. And somehow this deer, like, I see its body cross in the beams of the headlights, like the top of its body, work across the truck as it's running this direction. And I see the back end of the deer kind of flip outwards and can hear the thud. It was almost as if the thud and the sound of it was like hearing like a 2 liter of some sort of drink fall off the top bunk and hit the floor. That was the kind of thud that it made. So that's how I knew that I hit it. Jenna woke up immediately as soon as I started hard braking, because obviously it's shifting her around back there in the bed. So she woke up immediately, and she says that she actually heard the deer make a deer sound as it was going off the side, the side of the truck. Because you can hear things out of the side of the cab, like, differently than you can hear them up here in the. You can hear things from the walls in the sleeper different than you can hear them up here in the cab part of the truck. So she says she heard the deer make a sound. I'm up here hearing it thud and feeling it thud off the front right corner of the truck. So, and then I see its body just out of the corner of my eye just kind of fling off into the grass, and it kind of try to get up and like bolt off into the woods. But again, this all happened like I just kind of computed that that was happening out of the corner of my eye. And I immediately got, you know, dash lights up with critical event, hard braking critical event. And I was just like, you know, F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. I have like a perfect safety record, and I know that that's an unpreventable, you know, but I've never had a critical event either. So it's not that there's nothing I can do to control the situation. But I was just like absolutely peeved that this all happened, you know. So next exit comes up. I take the exit, pull over. There's a nice big wide shoulder. Pull over, turn the flashers on, and get out. And I surveyed the shit out of the truck. I raised the hood. Now it's in the middle of the night, you know, so I only had a flashlight, but I raised the hood. I went down the sides of the trailer. I got under the trailer. I looked under the truck. I looked everywhere I could possibly look, and there is not a single blemish on this truck. Not a scratch. Nothing. I mean, like, how amazing is that? Not a scratch. Not any indication that I hit that animal whatsoever. So my best guess is that the front right, well, looking out of the truck, it'd be the front right. If you're looking at the front of the truck, it'd be the, let me put it this way, it'd be the passenger side of the deer guard hit the ass of the deer and, you know, kind of flung it out. And that's how it, all I can say is amazing. That there was no damage, like not even a scratch, nothing. Now, granted, I had been able to slow down enough, and I think that's, honestly, I think that's what prevented any damage from happening. So that was that. But I got the critical event and everything, so, you know, I reported it, of course, because it was an incident. Now, I know a lot of you guys tell me that I'm wrong for getting trailers fixed and I'm wrong for doing this and that. Look, we run a clean professional truck, so if there's something wrong with a trailer, we get it fixed. If there's an incident, we're going to report it. If we see another prime driver using road rage or something like that, we're going to report it. You guys can comment and tell me that I'm wrong and I should just run broken trailers without lights. I get all, if you want to do that, you do that. We don't. So even though there was no damage, I reported the incident. Now, I don't know if that's required by law if you hit an animal and there's no damage. I know that it's required by prime. And it doesn't matter because there was a critical event, so safety could have pulled it up and looked to see what happened anyway. So anyway, I filled out this incident report, and I had to call safety, and I was like, hey, is this gonna go on my record or anything like that? And she said no, it's basically a unpreventable incident, not even an unpreventable accident. It's an unpreventable incident, and it was like animal strike or something like that. I can't remember the phrase they used. But yeah, that happened. I hit a deer and I hit a deer for the first time in my life, and I got a critical event for the first time of my professional driving career. This morning at 3:30 in the morning. And what makes it more hair-raising is that almost the same damn thing happened like 5 miles after that. I mean, almost the exact same thing, except the deer 5 miles from that was standing in the grass on the shoulder on the left side, and it was just standing there looking at the road, and it came as soon as my headlights were on it, I was like, you gotta be effing kidding me, please don't run. you know, because it was just kind of sitting there staring at me in the road. And of course I'm slowing down, but I don't want to hammer the brakes like I did that last time. So it, it's just a grind of a night. And I told the lady at safety, it was like, hey, I hate that I got a critical event, but I didn't feel like it was a dangerous application of the brakes. Maybe if there were a lot of other vehicles around me, yeah, I could see how it'd be different. I knew that there were I always know if there's vehicles to my side or behind me. I'm always watching for that. I'm always aware of my surroundings on the road. So I was like, it really sucks that I got a hard braking critical event. And she's like, it's not uncommon, because your first instinct, if you're going 65 miles per hour, is generally not to continue going 65 miles per hour if there's something in your lane in front of you that's stationary, So apparently, even though you're taught and trained, don't slam the brakes, which I didn't think that I slammed the brakes. I was gradually going from, I'm over the hill, I'm getting on the brakes, to heavier, I'm heavier and heavier, I'm heavier, I'm heavier on the brakes. That's the way it wasn't like, oh my God, bam, I'm slamming the brakes. It wasn't like that, But apparently I'm not the only one who's done that. So yeah, that happened. In other news, I have not worn a mask inside of a facility, you guys, since we left Springfield. It is amazing. Even here in Connecticut, at this TA, it said you must wear a mask unless you are fully vaccinated. Well, I identify as vaccinated. And my view is that if you're vaccinated, you shouldn't be afraid of me not wearing a mask. And me not wearing a mask, I'm not afraid of you because you're vaccinated. So that's really exciting. And that's basically our update for today. So our PTA set for midnight tonight. We're taking the day off. Gonna chill out, relax, get some sleep, get some food, some Panera bread, and figure out where we go after midnight. So anyway, guys, hope you're having a great weekend. Be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. Talk to you guys soon.